Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Paths of Glory. So I'm continuing our films for the movie club as we're going to be posting our first show on the Development Hell podcast for our discussion on Barry Lyndon. And now, second month of our movie club, we're going to be talking about another Kubrick film, just a little bit earlier one, Paths of Glory. Kubrick had adapted this and directed this film, and it's centered on 1916 France during World War I. And Kirk Douglas plays this colonel who's leading the charge in the trenches, listening to the probably not the best orders in terms of this attack, and it winds up being that some of them don't move forward because they're going to die if they do. And they're put on trial for cowardice, and hopefully, the military is hoping to sentence them to death for desertment and cowardice. And Kirk Douglas finds this absurd and wants to defend his troops. And this film is a brisk hour and 28 minutes, and which is very different from Barry Lyndon, which was 3 hours and 5 minutes. Literally more than double. But this film really is anchored on the performance of Kirk Douglas. He has amazing screen presence. And he takes his character and he cares about his men. He challenges the authority figures that are played with a range of just aloofment and silliness by Adolphe Menhu, who plays one general. You have this other general, Ralph Meeker, and you have all these different big wig kind of characters that either represent a malice and a hardened look on things and don't care about the soldiers, or they're completely out of touch and just think, oh, this is fine. We'll just, 3, that's much more manageable to kill 3 men. Ha ha ha. And it's just like, do you realize how bad this sounds? And those kinds of conversations throughout this film are so sharp and so smart in the way that they're written because they're darkly funny and absurdist, but they're true. And that's what Kubrick's able to do with his great work, making this film work, is that there's a dark, dark, dark sense of humor throughout this film. But it only is funny in a dark way because it's true and you know stuff like this had happened. And it really shines a light onto the absurdity of war. And when you try to, war is absurd and violent and imaginably destructive, and yet you try to fit these stupid, bureaucratic, red tape rules around it that, perfect example, it's towards the end of the film, you have these 3 men put out there for the firing squad, and one of them's literally dying from a fractured skull, yet they're like, oh, well, we'll just prop him up and tap on him and make sure that he's awake for it. And it's just like, are you kidding? Just let this man die instead of propping him up just so that you can shoot him. And those kinds of moments, which it's interesting, that actor who plays that particular soldier, who experiences that, Joe Turkel, was the bartender in The Shining, and also Tyrell in Blade Runner. But besides the point, you have Kubrick able to balance that sharp and biting dialogue in a darkly funny way, along with the heft of what's really going on in this film, because it is a deep, dark, and aggressive commentary on war and why it's so absurd and we shouldn't let these things happen anymore. And you feel the fire and the passion in Kirk Douglas's performance all the way up to one of the best outbursts you can see in film. And he just really carries this film in a way that's so impressive and so engrossing and poignant. And that's what helps Paths of Glory really work. And you have all these different characters, these interactions, and this film leads up to what is such a poignant finale of these French soldiers reacting to a German song and realizing it's they're not different. Why are they fighting? There's no reason for World War One. And honestly, it set up World War II and made that be able to happen. And that is what's so wrong with this idea. There is no bad sides to this. It was a bunch of selfishness. And the people that really suffered were the soldiers. And you see that, and you have these people who are like, I'm not going to die for nothing. And then are forced by their own military to die for nothing. And Paths of Glory shines a huge spotlight onto that in such a smart and just an impactful way. And then you have the technical prowess. There's scenes of Douglas walking through the trenches and just the tracking shots work, and they're so effective. There's close-ups. The camera moves so fluidly as it gets up and close into people's faces as they're reacting and they're experiencing these things. There's strong performances. There's real raw emotion in this film. And it's darkly funny. It's impactful. There's a real battle scene in this that is such a great tracking shot across the field as Douglas is leading the charge and is weaving in and out of things and up and down the dunes and the holes in no man's land. It is so impactful. That sequence is exhilarating, intense, and suspenseful. This film works and fires on all of its cylinders. It is a biting commentary that is still relevant today, and this beautiful black and white cinematography with this towering performance by Kirk Douglas. And with all that together with Kubrick's amazingly masterful hand as a director, Paths of Glory is a classic and it's a masterpiece. And I would highly recommend going to check this film out. But those are my thoughts on Paths of Glory. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.